let's see how this goes. This is my first time broadcasting, so let's check a couple things here before I get into this. There I am. I'm down there. I don't want to be. How do I just put myself on the screen here? There we go. I'll be down here. All right. Y'all let me know if I can be heard. See what I gotta do here to videos live. Am I showing up here? Hmm. Yeah, this is my first time doing this, so I have no idea how this is going to turn out. But oh, we are live. There we go. See if I can hear this. Hello? If I can hear this. Hello? All right. See if I can bring it up here so I can see who's chatting about what. Everyone's gonna love this part. Dismiss. Close. Show me the chat. There we go. Start a poll. Do I want to start a poll? I do not want to start a poll. Thanks for asking. Close. All right, so I got mine on the chat here. Let's talk about week one. We'll go through the games on week one, stats, injuries, and then we'll look at week two, and then we'll talk about players and look at them to see if there's, like a common trait that made certain players play good that are in the top five of stats of week one. So big, big case study is Big Ben, aka Big Will, for the Steelers. Will Howard, 379 yards passing, just 1 yard shy of Jaden Daniels. So we want to see why 65 overall Will Howard threw for 379 yards in the Steelers playbook. Like, shocker of all shockers. Um, I don't know. We'll have to see what he's got underneath the hood. We'll definitely see that. So let's go game to game here. We'll start with a Thursday night game, and I'll talk about playbook changes. So we got the Lions in the New Orleans Saints offense. I believe it's because I was trying to get some throwing yards and catches to one Jameer Gibbs. Only got 12 rush yards. I mean, he did rush for 5.7 yards a carry. Golf 20 8 completions for 34 attempts. I mean, it's okay, but they definitely need to rush more. I don't know. Do you count the 6 catches to Jameer Gibbs as kind of the, the rush attempts? I mean, in the sim, yeah. I mean, the starting running back's only getting about 15 carries at the most. We're definitely going to do a scheme change here. I mean, Jameson Williams is just unbelievable. Amon-Ra St. Brown was in the slot. Laporta got fed a little bit. So I definitely think there's going to be a scheme change, and I'm definitely going to edit the depth chart. I need to get Montgomery more involved. He needs to be placed in more power back formations manually. So this is one of the first games, kind of did some, you know, just on the fly learning here. And then the Eagles, they're in the Eagles playbook, but I don't think they're going to stay there. They have a new offensive coordinator. Um, Kellen Moore's in New Orleans, and that's where that playbook should be. And again, I mean, you put in Shipley, who came in for one down for Barkley at 17 carries. I want to see the running backs get over 20 combined. So if you have two backs that are starting in formations, they should total at least 20. 25's high, but at least 20. And Eagles just passed too much, 35 attempts, and Hurts only had 247 yards. No, so I have it written here. Philly's going to the Chargers. I think I like the Chargers a lot. We'll talk about them later, and I really want to feature Barkley more. So Chargers is probably on my wish list. Not wish list, but who I'm moving them to next, and then we'll go from there. But we want to get Barkley more involved. I mean, this offense revolves around Barkley. He had 7 catches for 52 yards in the Eagles playbook. That's crazy. I mean, ball was spread around all over the place too. We won't really cover too much on defense right now, but the Eagles defense did look rather good. 5 sacks. Lions only had one. So definitely a playbook change for the Eagles, and we'll worry about player edits there later. Eagles lost. They had their chance, and they blew it. Um, it is what it is. Eagles fan hurt. It hurt, but there we go. So this Miami game was ugly as hell. Tampa Bay shut out in the second half. Miami throws 17 in the fourth quarter. Tua's gonna Tua for sure. 33 attempts to 11 carries. So that's got to change. I there's a couple things with I know we're all about balance, and I think scheme change is definitely in order here. But game flow, like time of possession, it all kind of factors in. 33 attempts for 177 yards. One, I mean, it kind of feels like it. It kind of feels like a late season Dolphins game where they're just grasping at straws. Their defense was awesome, so that's something to keep your eye on. I mean, were they awesome, or is it that the Buccaneers sucked? That remains to be seen. So let's talk about the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield, 39 attempts, only 11 carries for Bucky Irving at 1.4 yards carry. A guy, I think that's kind of the defense there. 8 for 90 for Mike Evans. Booker got 3 for 51. Godwin 5 for 53. Kate Otten 5 for 23. Irving did get 4 for 22. So you want to see the basket more involved. We'll have to move them around a little bit because you want both backs involved. Also, the Tampa Bay defense is really good. Lots of sacks here. Son Reddick getting that pick six on a flat route. I mean, these offenses set the NFL back quite a ways, if you ask me. Both defenses, I guess they were good, um, or the offenses were just that bad. Do I see a playbook change for either of them? No, not right now. I don't think so. So let's move on to Jacksonville and Carolina, a game I was really interested, especially from the rookies' perspective. We'll look at Jacksonville. They were in the LA Rams. I believe when I looked at their offensive coordinator, he has a LA Rams Sean McVay background. So I put them in this offense for right now. 39 attempts, 21 carries. That's pretty good. I won't gripe over the attempts because that can be a game flow thing for passing. ETN getting 21 carries. I kind of live with it. I think maybe they need a scheme change, but they definitely don't need a playbook change. Um, I do think I could consider changing their playbook, and that's for more of a cosmetic, what puts butts in the seats kind of thing. I want to feature Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter, and we'll have to see what it is because it's a lot of hey, what's up, Marcus? Yeah, it definitely abandons the run. You gotta finagle it. Um, I think scheme changes a lot. I mean, I don't know. This is a little ahead of my pay grade here. Sim Gaming Network does a lot of testing with slow sim, so I'm just kind of jumping into it. But I think I heard him say that if you change playbooks to pistol, they will run more. So we're gonna figure that out. Um, what's up, DVR? Running Jacksonville playbook? No, I'm not. I'll just tell you now. Playbooks that aren't being used right now are the Bears, Jets, Browns, Jaguars, Raiders, Patriots, and Tennessee. They're not being used right now by any team, and I'll probably try and work them in eventually. They also are in the Green Bay defense. Defense, I'm testing out defense, but I'm not really focused on that right now. I'm just trying to find good pass balance, run balance playbooks. A lot of short passes here, so we got to try and fix that. Maybe if we train to throw or strategize to throw deeper, we'll get some more shots down the field. That could also be a thing where it's on the quarterback and he might need a change. So we're going to stay in the Rams for the Jaguars, and then the Panthers. Talk about them passing 25 attempts. I mean, Bryce Young was pretty efficient, but for 167 yards, one passing touchdown and an interception. Chuba looked good. I mean, I wish he got more than 15 carries. Um, the runs he did have 4.1, I liked it. Just wish he had more. And I believe, yeah, they were trailing in the second half, so that could be a second half thing. It's a playbook I might change for the Panthers, but for right now, first couple games, at least maybe the first 4 games, we'll just try to find a better scheme for him. I really want to get McMillan going, but 5 for 26 is awful. It could also be a Bryce Young thing, so we'll change that around, and you know, kind of want to feature the rookies. We move on to the Cardinals and the Saints. Saints are in the Eagles playbook because they got Kellen Moore, so I'm gonna leave him there. I got Spencer Rattler starting right now. Just kind of like trying to do what might happen in real life. Spencer Rattler gets the job out of the gate, and then eventually the rookie comes in. So we'll give it a little bit here. Way better rushing numbers. So the scheme was West Coast power run for the Eagles in this when they were on the Saints, and they were in the run and shoot when the Eagles used the Eagles playbook. So way too much passing in the run and shoot if you use the Eagles for that scheme. So West Coast looks a lot more balanced. You got a lot more running out of Rattler. So yeah, I don't know why I put it in run and shoot. Probably meant to put it in pistol when I first did the simulation with the Eagles. So Eagles and West Coast power, not bad. Chris Olave 4 for 73. Spread it around. I mean, Spencer Rattler. What can you do? I'll take 30 attempts with 18 carries. That's not bad. Plus 18 from Spencer, who looked pretty good. Now, probably cut those attempts in half for what's him taking off on passing plays. I mean, you can nitpick that. Kind of an ugly game to watch. And then as far as the Cardinals, they really look bad, especially Kyler Murray, 24 completions for 30 attempts, 266 yards, only 11 rushes between Benson and one more, so that's 12 between Benson and Connor. 2.2 yards a carry and 1 yard a carry. That's kind of could be a simulation thing too. Now, I will say this: when I did all the simulations last year, when I did this last year, right? Teams that had really good first 3 weeks, 4 weeks of the season, their numbers started going down. I noticed that the numbers like the CPU kind of like you're not going to throw for 400 yards every game with some playbooks. The Jags last year, they started off as like the best offense and then just faded for the rest of the year. Same thing. I can't remember what the other team was, but when you do every week simulating with every team, it's like they manage the yards, whether it's passing or running. So you're gonna see dumb stats like these, and then they'll average out later. Um, yeah, but the Cardinals offense definitely is gonna stay, but multi power run probably will change. We'll probably have to change the scheme. And then the Cowboys, the Bears were in Detroit offense, of course, because they have offensive coordinator from that team of Detroit, and 38 attempts. Caleb Williams, 326 yards. I mean, I definitely think he's going to take a big step forward. He's got that talent. And 21 attempts for Swift. It's not bad. You want to see probably a little bit more balance, but I believe they were also trailing at some point in this game. So I got Loveland in the slot, Komet, and Moore. I mean, just spreading the ball around from all the big wide receivers. I kind of like them. Maybe a scheme change will help a little bit, but I like them in Detroit's offense, and we'll keep them there. And Dallas is all Dallas. I feel like they were pretty balanced. Yeah. So 33 attempts and 21 carries. Javante's just he's not the best player, so you're not gonna have a big average. I mean that's another thing. If players are effective running the ball and they're still in running situations and short yardage situations in some playbooks, they'll definitely run more. Um, Cowboys are in West Coast zone run, and I guess I'll leave them there for now. We'll see. We'll see if they get too crazy with the passing, but I'm fine with leaving them in that. And then let's go to the Giants and the Packers. I mean, the Giants defense absolutely destroyed the Packers. So I don't know if it's the Packers offense being that bad or there's something wrong with um, Jordan Love. He might need to be fixed. I mean, 5 interceptions, but whatever's going on in the Giants playbooks, I mean, they're really good in quick sim. So 23 attempts for Russell Wilson, 17 carries. Tyrone Tracy looked pretty good. 3 carries for Russell Wilson. I do know off the top of my head, one of them was a scramble, and that was for the touchdown, if I remember correctly. So, I mean, Tyrone Tracy looked pretty good. I'll definitely want to mess with their depth chart. I want to get the rookie Scatabo involved a little bit more. So, we'll move around their depth chart, maybe play around with scheme. But I kind of like what looks like a heavier rushing approach from the Giants, and their defense just looks awesome. Of course, you'd like to see Neighbors get more love, but like I said, he could have a big game next game, and there you go. It's like the real NFL. They don't they treat the first 4 games like the preseason. And then as far as the Packers, they're the Green Bay offensive West Coast zone run. I don't know what happened. I'm going to say this is a Jordan Love thing. He probably, off the top of my head, I think aggressive quarterbacks that have the aggressive trait didn't look good. And ideal and conservative actually, I think, might play better in the slow sim, but we got to find out. So we're going to look at the top performers in a second when we start looking at stats and then studying, the top 5, top 3 players and maybe why they're there. Jordan Love did look good carrying the ball, but Josh Jacobs. I mean, is that Josh Jacobs or is that just how good the Giants team and their playbook is? A lot of catches to craft. Same thing here. The rookie. I want to get him involved, but kind of let it play out like real life. He might not start right away. You might have to work him in. I'm gonna let Christian Watson do Christian Watson things and not perform well, and then we got to put the rookie in there. Maybe Green Bay starts off slow, and they need to inject some life into them, and they start the rookie wide receiver. So we'll see about that. But the Golden Boy Matthew Golden did not get to play at all in this game, so he could be getting upgrade soon. And yeah, the Packers definitely need to change. I don't know if a playbook change is in order yet because you want to see more involvement from Josh Jacobs and better running, but definitely a scheme change. And then if that doesn't work, we got to work on Jordan Love for sure and get him right. And then the Ravens and the Jets. Talk about the Ravens. I definitely think I'm gonna have to try to move them to pistol and see if that gets more carries. I mean, okay, they rushed the ball for 25 times and threw for 33. It didn't feel like they ran that much. I mean, how many carries of Lamar's were not designed carries too? So it was just him taking off. Is it the Jets defensive playbook that they were in, like holding Henry to 2.8? We'll have to evaluate that, but I definitely want to see Henry get more carries. So I don't want to do a playbook change. We'll see what happens with um, changing it to pistol and see if you get more out of Henry because they should be running the ball a lot more. But from what I remember, yeah, Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews and Bateman just getting peppered. DeAndre Hopkins getting peppered. Henry getting 4 carries. I mean, 4 catches likely involved. So it's a lot of throwing. I knew that to expect that from the Ravens. The dude at Sim Gaming Network, they talk about how the Ravens throw too much. So that was kind of expected. And then the Jets, I try to put them in. What is it? I got it written here. They're in Atlanta's offense. I was trying to get Justin Fields some more rushing numbers, and that didn't work. I mean, Brees Hall was effective on 8 carries. I mean, they just didn't possess the ball that much. They were behind. Justin Fields only 29 attempts, only 8 carries. Brees Hall did have one big one. I mean, Garrett Wilson had 2 long catches that were like dots. Mason Taylor looked really good, so you like to see that. It's probably a wait and see, but definitely a scheme change and possibly a playbook change. I want to get Justin Fields running more, and I think that when we study other running back or other quarterbacks, we'll figure out how to do that. That's good to know, Marcus. Thank you. I mean, that could be it. You can't get the playbooks and Madden to play as realistic as possible, but um, we'll just count the scrambles as runs. Um, but if you guys have a suggestion for who you think these teams should be in, definitely the Jets are like, what are they going to be? I just want Fields. I feel like it's got to be more of a run heavy approach. They got a good offensive line. You got Brees Hall. It- Justin Fields is a notorious, running quarterback. So we need to get more running out of them. So I'll definitely mess with the schemes for Atlanta's playbook, but Atlanta's playbook does not have a good showing this week. And speaking of not having good showings, but the second half for Josh Allen was absolutely putrid. Playbook for the Browns on defense or Josh Allen needing to be edited with his traits? I don't know, but he absolutely threw up all over himself in the second half. 35 attempts, throwing when he shouldn't have been throwing when they were up. 15 carries for Cook. I mean, I didn't feel like he had 15 carries. You want to see Josh Allen run more. The Bills are like a run first team. So definitely probably a scheme change and looking to edit Josh Allen because if he throws multiple picks next game, it's definitely something wrong with him. Because I know, looking at him, he has throwaway ball off, I believe, and what else? He's paranoid. I think he's aggressive, if I remember correctly. So he might need to be edited. It could just be a one-time game thing. Who knows? But definitely monitoring that situation. Shador Sanders looked pretty good. Threw some dumb picks. 35 attempts. Judkins only 13 carries. So I definitely think we're looking for a run-heavy offense. I might go back. I think I'm going to go back to Cleveland this week in week 2 because they were in New York and they were, I believe, behind. They were throwing in the second half and really didn't get much points with the throwing. It was all like pick sixes and short fields because Josh Allen was throwing up on himself. So, who knows if the balance changes on that. Um, Fannin looked pretty good. So, you want to see more carries? One of the reasons why I picked New York Giants for Cleveland is because it looked like it got good effective runs with Tracy. And I have Judkins boosted up a little bit to be better than Tracy, and he looks like it looked like he was going to get better average per carry, but he didn't. Oh yeah, so he does play better one half than the other. I'm this is my first time doing like a full sim, so we'll have to find out. Maybe we can fix him and he won't play like that, but that could also be a playbook thing. We'll see. Moving on to Colts and Texans. They were in their playbooks respectively. I really thought that we might get a good Anthony Richardson. I love that playbook. In quick sim, 27 attempts. He had 5 carries. Taylor had 10. You want to see more out of 10. I mean, more than 10 out of Jonathan Taylor, especially more yards per carry. Definitely going to go with a scheme change. I'm going to try to keep him this as much as possible. Alec Pierce catching one long passing touchdowns, what Alex Pierce does. Pittman not getting thrown the ball by Anthony Richardson is what happens. If I change anything, it's to like the Chiefs. But I don't want to like put AFC playbooks in on AFC teams. If anything, if I'm gonna make a playbook change, I want the playbooks in one on the AFC side, one on the NFC side. But I will want to feature Tyler Warren a little bit more so I can get some views on him. I mean, people are tuning in for the rookies, so you want to get these rookies fed. And 3 catches for 8 yards isn't going to get any eyes on Tyler Warren. So I want to feature him as much as possible, while also having good rushing attempts. And the Texans, 20 carries for Mixon, only 41 yards. That's pretty good. But 45 attempts for Stroud. I kind of figured this playbook would be like that. Can you balance it out more? I don't know. Stroud looked pretty decent. Back to old Stroud. Nico getting 13 receptions for 127 yards. Kirk with 2 touchdowns. Mechie with with a touchdown, 86 yards. I mean, it looks like the old Bobby Slowick offense, but you would think they would be a little more effective with running. So someone could be getting upgraded to the Texans at some point. It does put up a lot of rushing touchdowns in the quick sim, so I was hoping for that with using vertical power run. I'm gonna have to try to think about changing the scheme on that if they don't get better next week with their running average for sure. And then we're moving on to Patriots and Falcons. Atlanta was in their own playbook, and Michael Penix does not look very good at all. Bijan Robinson only got 6 carries. Patriots kind of just dominated on defense. They looked okay on offense. Pitts had 7 for 80. London had 5 for 55. They were in the multi-power run scheme, so before I abandoned it completely because you want to see the Falcons do somewhat well. You want to get Bijan like I want to put them in a playbook where Bijan's getting fed. So if he's not getting fed, uh, definitely up for a playbook change. And there's some good running playbooks that we'll get to, or good offenses I think might feature the running back a lot more, especially on the AFC side. We'll talk about them as we go along here. Drake May, yeah, yeah, they still own them for sure. Especially this game. I mean, the Patriots look like they put it all together. They're in the New Orleans offense. I picked this because I was just trying to get what looked like. I know it's Josh McDaniels' offense, but from what I've read, I did some little bit of research. He likes to feature, he'll mold his offense about around who's on the team, and I wanted to get passing attempts to Travion Henderson, so I put him in Saints, and I mean, only got 6 carries, but Stevenson's the power back. Drake May carried it 5 times for a rushing touchdown, and Travion Henderson had 6 for 51. I'm kind of okay with this offense the way it is right now. They're in the spread scheme. I'll take 25 carries, 28 attempts, play a lot of defense. It's like kind of what I feel like the Patriots are going to be in real life. I definitely think they're going to take a step forward, and I think this is like perfect for me. So we're going to stick with that with the Patriots, and then we're going to move on to the Titans and San Francisco. Titans are in Cincy's playbook. I'm going to take them back and put them in Tennessee. Tennessee's offensive playbook is, um, I think, just a watered down version of Cincinnati's playbook. I believe that's where the head coach came from that system of Cincinnati. So they're kind of the same. I want Cam Ward to go off and look good, so I put him in Cincy's playbook. But I'm gonna, for now, move him down. 37 attempts is a lot, and carries are all over the place. uh, Xavier got a carry. It was actually a pretty good carry, but you want to see more out of the running backs. So we'll see what happens. And obviously, Xavier and Amanor got fed for sure. And you like to see that. Van Jefferson got play. Chig, it's a little too much passing. It's good for the views, but you know we'll try to make Cam Ward a little bit more exciting in another way and get some more rush bounce. We'll go back to Tennessee in week 2 and go from there. And then 49ers, they look fun. Brock Purdy doing Brock Purdy things, 32 attempts, only 8 rush attempts. Got to fix that. They are in West Coast zone run, so definitely a scheme change for now. But we'll see what happens. It could be. I'm all over the place here. I mean, Guerrero got 6.6 yards a carry. Um, I don't know why they didn't rush the ball more. It has to be scheme. Hopefully it's not, but definitely a scheme change for San Francisco. And then we have the Chiefs and the Raiders. It was a good first half for the Raiders, and then everything fell apart. They're in where are the Raiders at? They're in the Lions' offense, trying to feed Ashton Genty, and 9 for 93 to one. He had a couple big runs, and that was it. So vertical power offense needs to be changed. Geno Smith is now out for 7 weeks. That sucks. Um, the playbook we're going to be moving the Raiders to is Seattle. We'll talk about Seattle in a second, but you want to talk about rush attempts. Seattle had 27 carries for the starting running back, and Pete Carroll is going to lean on Ashton Genty for sure. That's like his style, offensive line, run the ball. I mean, the Raiders look good. Um, want to get the rookies involved, but same thing. Let the offense play out the way it is, and if we're losing games after 4 weeks, we'll start seeing Jack and Thornton move up. And then as we move to talking about the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Here's the thing: 35 attempts, 26 carries. That's a pretty good bounce. The Chiefs are in West Coast power run. I mean, I, I'm kind of fine with this. It's not bad. I don't know. I was surprised when I looked at how many carries Pacheco got, but I'm not going to change anything. And I also really think that Patrick Mahomes is going to be awesome this year. He's pissed off. He lost to my Eagles in the Super Bowl, and he is definitely going to win the MVP in real life for sure. So Chiefs West Coast power run. If you're cool with those numbers, 35 attempts and 26 carries for Pacheco, who I definitely am going to make a depth chart manual substitution in formations to get Pacheco off the field. I don't want him rushing the ball 26 times. I want to spread it out a little bit, but I'll take 26 attempts. Oh, dude, you in like real life too? That's one. That's Andy's one problem, man. Andy Reid. That's why people in Philadelphia hated Andy Reid because he just was so pass heavy. He would just obvious times to run the ball, would just never run the ball. But I think the change was good for both him and the Philadelphia organization. I think Andy definitely changed after he left, and especially when he didn't have the personnel decisions anymore. So, all right, this game was awesome. These playbooks are awesome, or the players are awesome. Denver. Let's talk about Denver. Bo Nix. Is it Bo Nix? I don't know. Is it Commanders' defense being that bad? Bo Nix looked awesome. 25 attempts, 15 rushes. RJ Harvey looked amazing. 101 yards rushing, and he had 6 receptions for 139 yards and a receiving touchdown. Evan Ingram got fed. Of course, it feeds a slot, and that's where Vele is right now. So, we want to put someone else in there to get fed more because you don't want to see one reception for 5 yards for Sutton. So we'll probably rotate guys in and out maybe. But I love this playbook. I mean, especially if you want to feature one of these players. You know how much I love the Broncos offense. And it was probably one of the best offenses until it got nerfed a little bit in the slow sim. But Bo Nix looked amazing. Yo, aren't they some crazy numbers? I mean, I know there's some people like, draft experts that are like low key, like RJ Harvey's going to be really good in this Sean McVay system, but I don't think I've ever seen this in the slow sim even last year. I mean, he caught one long touchdown and he was out. So we'll see. It could just be the Washington defense is just awful. Maybe not the playbook, but they've I think one of the lowest overalls. So they didn't do too much on defense, but they did a lot on offense. And if you know anything about the Commanders' offense in the quick sim, it looked really good in the slow sim. And it could not, maybe it's not the playbook, or it could be just Jaden Daniels is awesome. But 43 attempts is a ton of attempts. Of course, the game got away from them. Only 10 carries. But Jaden Daniels looked awesome in those two rushing touchdowns in the red zone. It does put a lot of four wide receivers on the field. McLaurin had a long touchdown. Noah Brown looked good. Debo looked fine. Throws a lot to the running back. So, I mean, look at it. JCM got 3 catches. Brian Robinson got 3. So that's what nine throws to the running back. I mean, that's kind of what it's supposed to be, I guess. But I was surprised at how good this playbook played. But it could be just Jane Daniels. I don't know. But that was an exciting game to watch. So if you haven't watched that game, I recommend watching that. Jaden Daniels looks really good. So I'm definitely going to leave him in this offense. I'll probably change the scheme around. Maybe have to move some players around. It'd be really nice if Washington had a feature back for sure. 'Cause maybe have to move up JCM or do some manual depth chart um, subs because I don't want Brian Robinson catching 6 balls. I rather JCM. So we'll see. But look, you got one, two, three, and then McCaffrey was on the field a lot more. So I do know they have a lot of 4 wide receiver sets, and yeah, exciting game. Go if you haven't watched it. I recommend watching it. It's one of the reasons I'm doing this too. Like, if you want to get a feel for a playbook that you want to use, definitely look at watching. That's why I'm putting in the comments like or the what's it called the description what the playbooks are, the scheme, and the strategy for the week. So you can apply that to your team if you like. If you watch a game, you want to see how a playbook's doing, try to figure this out for you guys because I know a lot of people just started their new franchises for slow sim with the rookies. So Madden is not over yet. The Chargers. This was the top rushing playbook before it got nerfed in this quick sim, and Najee Harris looked awesome. 8.5 yards a carry. To me, it was the best slow sim and quick sim playbook last year. Looks great this year. This is one of the reasons why I'm moving the Eagles to the Chargers. Um, is because of the average that Najee had and how good he looks. I like to get Hampton on the field more. Maybe I'll have to make some more manual substitutions. But Najee Harris looked great. Um, only 32 attempts. Maybe we do a scheme change. Will Disley get 9 for 88. McConkey in the slot getting 7 for 79. There you go. Hampton did get 3 catches, so he'll kind of be in. Is it one? Yeah, dude, I like it. So Broncos, Chiefs, and Chargers all in the same division. All have really good quick sim and slow slim playbooks for me. So someone we'll do. I can't wait to see what the Eagles do with it. Yeah, multi-power run. I have them in. So now the Vikings. Interesting here. I think if I remember off the top of my head. So it used to be a really good playbook, quick sim wise at the beginning of the year, and then through updates it got patched a little bit and wasn't as good, especially passing wise. But Aaron Jones looked freaking amazing, and 21 carries. They were effective. Aaron Jones looked awesome. So it's a good rushing playbook. The only thing I don't like about it, you want to see Justin Jefferson and Addison get fed. Hawkinson did get the ball. If I have to, maybe I'll move Jefferson into the slot because that's where Rondell Moore is right now, and maybe get more effective yards. But definitely a more run heavy approach. So I actually might move the scheme for them for more passing. Somewhat of a better passing approach. Um, but it's also JJ McCarthy's like first game, so what else can you expect? But definitely good run balanced here. So I thought Aaron Jones looked really good. West Coast zone run, that was a scheme they're in. And then one of the biggest surprises was how much was 2 things. How good Will Howard looked at like 65 overall and how much the Steelers playbook threw. I know they were losing at some point in the second half, so he was like playing, catch up late in the fourth and got, more yards out of that, but he threw the second most yards. And he looked pretty darn good. I mean, they got shut out in the second half, but they were moving the ball. I believe he threw an interception in the red zone in the second half. They also went for it on fourth down twice and didn't convert. And one of them was towards the end of the game. So they could have just they were up 19-7 and they passed up a field goal and lost. They also were up 19 nothing before the half and the Bengals scored was it 29 answered unanswered points. So we'll talk about the Bengals in a second. I'm really intrigued by Will Howard, what he's got going on under the hood for his traits. We're going to definitely take a look at him. And if anything, we'll be moving off the Steelers playbook for the Steelers. No way they run throw the ball this much. 13 carries for Caleb Johnson. Another thing, Will Howard looked awesome running the ball. I mean, 17 carries, not bad. I mean, I don't know where 45 rush attempts came from, but the playbook looked good. I mean, I wonder if it was a better quarterback, how many points it could put up. DK Metcalf caught a really long one. Skoranek. I mean, they got nobody here. 6 catches for the running backs. It's a real interesting playbook. I want to find out more information. So we got a lot to dive in on the Steelers. And then Joe Burrow didn't look great in the first half. Steelers defense, and then he just eventually willed them to win, feeding his playmakers. Looks like the slot got a little more love. I did say it was probably one of the best playbooks for feeding the number one wide receiver on the outside. Also feeds the slot. If um, Yoshi Voss keeps going on like this, I'm gonna have to move Chase in the slot, but I don't want to. Burrow's gonna burrow. Definitely needs to run the ball more. So we'll definitely put a scheme change on him. The Bengals multi-zone run, so we'll have to find a more run balance scheme if we can. That was a good game. It was a good game. All right, both these defenses look great. Well, you have to take that a grain of salt because Sam Darnold looked like absolute trash. They would have won this game. He threw a pick at the very end of the game. What are they doing throwing? They only threw for 26 times. Kenneth Walker had 27 attempts for 130 yards. That is awesome. So if you want to run heavy playbook right now, it looks like Seattle's it. I had them in the West Coast zone run, so that's why I want to put Genty in that offense. I want to see Genty get 27 carries, but they definitely would have, played so much better and probably won if Sam Darnold was an absolute trash. But hey, to me, it was like realistic. I mean, I'm not expecting good things at Sam Darnold. So, and especially if they're not doing well after 3-4 games, it's Jalen Milroe time, and we're gonna definitely put him in the traits that Will Howard's in, because Will Howard, like I said, looked awesome. Um, I mean, that's really cool. 27 attempts, and I mean, he's got no one to throw to, and he can't throw. Defensively, I know I'm not talking too much about who's saying Sam Darnold doing Sam Darnold things. Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, Sam Darnold's going to Sam Darnold. And I believe the Seattle offensive line is not as good as the one he played behind in Minnesota, and that's not good for him. I know they got Gray's able, but they still got other offensive problems. I mean, this defense looked awesome though. A lot of picks, really made the Rams work for it, and the Rams only had a shot because Sam Darnold sucked. But the Rams, passing wise, stopped him? Question mark. Yeah, it does, man. It really does. It's an awesome playbook. Puka was in the slot, got 9 for 77 and 1. Rushing attempts wise, 9 carries, but they were losing, so maybe that's probably could be more of a game flow thing. They weren't losing by much, but who knows if the CPU factors that in. They were in the West Coast zone run, so they probably need a little bit of a change. We'll see about that. But that's it for the games. Let's talk about what happened injury wise, real quick. Start with the Bears. Byard, I believe, was out before the season even started. All good for the Bengals. Commanders lost Clelin Ferrell. Mozzie Smith and Donovan Ezaraku is out. That's a that's a bummer. You want to see the rookie get some play there. Especially I can use that. Dallas Goddard. Whole thing is off season in real life. They don't want to pay him because he gets hurt. It's like this first drive of this first game of the season. Dallas Goddard's out already. That's funny. McCaffrey's hurt. Art imitating life. Yasir Abdullah's out. Not really that much of a note. Eric Johnson's out for the Patriots. Not a big name there. Geno Smith being out for 6 games. Like, didn't even. The thing, he got hurt at the very end of the game, and like, we never said anything about him getting hurt. It was all of a sudden Aiden was in there. Oh, I did not see this. I did not see Devontae Adams go out. 4 weeks. Old man. Ravens are clean. Saints, Seahawks, Steelers. All right, so that's pretty much it for the injuries. Look at the schedule real quick. You guys tell me if there's any games that you're looking forward to. Start with a Thursday night game. Raiders and Browns. That's a good looking one right there. Definitely, you got some good rookies on that one that you want to see perform, and you got the Browns looking to go 2-0 under Shador Sanders. Not so much the Jets and the Cowboys. Titans, Patriots, that could be all right. Commanders and Giants, definitely. It's definitely you got uh, an offense versus a defense for sure. Offensive versus defensive matchup. Cardinals, Colts. Given how they looked in Week 1, not looking forward to that yet. Lions and Steelers. I'm all about the Steelers. I want to see how well they play. If Will Howard can do it 2 weeks in a row. Of course, we got Bengals, Bills. Too early, and it would never be a 1 o'clock game, but it is what it is. Bengals, Bills, always great. Falcons, Saints. Do they go over 20 points combined? Eagles, Chargers. Oh man, playbook, offensive playbook versus offensive playbook in this one. Chargers looking to go 2-0. Eagles looking to go get their first win. That'd be awful. 0-2 start. People in Philadelphia would be losing their minds. Broncos, Packers. Packers just gave up a shit ton of points to the Giants, and the Broncos just scored a shit ton of points. So this might be an early MVP bid for their quarterback. I can't think of his name right now. Seahawks, Buccaneers, Vikings, Bears. Not really. I'm not too excited about too many games. Of course, Eagles, Chargers, and Bengals, Bills, Commanders, Giants. Want to see what the Steelers do against the Lions. Not bad. All right, now let's talk about players and stats. I'm going to get my notes here because I want to kind of see if there's a correlation between why certain players did well and Ravens Rams. Yeah, that could be interesting for sure. Yeah, the Rams need to get their act together as far as offense goes. This microphone. All right, we got my notes going here. All right, so the top 3 or 5 passing quarterbacks here. You got Jaden Daniels. Oh, where's the good pen? I don't know about you, but I am very big on pens. And if you use a pen that's zero point 0.7 millimeters or higher, you're a psychopath. Like I got a these 0.7s are even bad. Oh, where's there it is. I lose my mind. This one's a 0.38 millimeter. Love it. All right, Jane Daniels, Will Howard, and Stroud. Look at them. If there's anyone else you think we should look at, let me know. But let's definitely look at Jane Daniels. I edited his abilities. He's got agile extender, no look dead eye, and dashing dead eye. Is that why he looks so good? I don't know. Let's look at his traits. 3/4 one, whatever that is. I should probably write that down anyway, just in case someone else has it. That's one thing I did not see on YouTube when I searched it all year, and something you would always find in past Maddens, like what's the best throwing style? Is that like something that is so sacred now people have to put behind a paywall, or everyone just knows? They all just tell each other. I don't know, but I could not find that in any YouTube search or like any video that was really good. Normal penalty, throwaway ball, no. That's interesting. Paranoid and conservative, and he's balanced. All right. All right, let's check out Will Howard. What do you think Will Howard's going to be? 65 overall. I put him on over the top too. I did edit him a little bit so he would be the higher rater. I think he was so he could be the highest rated quarterback. Um, I asked everyone and they said they rather see Will Howard than put Aaron Rodgers on the team and go down that route. He's disciplined, throws ball away, ideal, another conservative quarterback, and scrambling. I heard that 3/4 for Joe Burrow is the best. Thank you, Marcus. That's good to know. We'll have to put that. We'll have to put that one to the test to see if that is the case. I don't know if predictability means anything to him either. Um, Stroud, no X factor, lofting dead eye, inside dead eye, fearless, and safety valve. Shit. And then we'll take a look at his style over the top 4. Traits, really normal. He's got aggressive. Sense pressure average. aggressive, balanced. I don't know. I don't know if I really learned anything. I mean, both Daniels and Howard being conservative and throwing for the most yards is kind of interesting to me. Throw it, throw for 4. What's Bo Nix? Bo Nix was interesting. 3/4 2. Star, disciplined, trigger happy, conservative, balanced, but another conservative decision maker. Yeah, I mean, I know in the past, man's like aggressive is something you wanted. I don't know if that reigns true here. Let's look at the guys who threw the most interceptions. Jordan Love. There you go. What's he got? Quick draw, inside dead eye, it's sideline dead eye. I'm gonna say that doesn't do too much. He has 3/4 3. Could it be the throwing motion? Superstar. All right, so he is aggressive with ideal sense of pressure. Throwaway ball on, no. And then Josh Allen. Abilities. Bazooka, quick draw, dashing dead eye, fast break, fearless, and gunslinger. Lower 3/4 2. It's a weird throwing motion. All right, so he's aggressive decision maker with paranoid sense of pressure. I wonder if we move this down to ideal or conservative, will he like play way better? So we'll have to find out. So if I'm anybody, and I gotta edit my quarterback. I think I'm going conservative. What do you think? I don't know if sense pressure really matters too much, but um, for sure, I think I'm taking my quarterbacks off aggressive. Let's talk about QB rush yards before we get into the running backs. Who do I want to look at? Bryce Young. All right, now what's Bryce Young got that made him look so good running the ball? Maybe it's nothing, but him and the dude from the Saints look good running the ball, taking off and running. He's only balanced. He's balanced. High motor. Throwaway ball is on. I swear that they run more if throw ball away is on. Let's look at Spencer Rattler. That's his name. Will Spencer Rattler have throw ball away on? Over the top 4. Balanced quarterback. Conservative decision maker. Oblivious. He's oblivious sense pressure too. Throw away ball on. Lamar Jackson, I believe, has throw ball away on. And I think Jalen Hurts does not have throw away ball on. So I think hey, it's not excuse me, it's not 100% proven, but I'm pretty sure if you want your quarterback to take off more, throw away ball on. I think it has something to do with they like work themselves out of the pocket. This is just from what I watched in one week of games. They work themselves out of the pocket, and sometimes they throw the ball away, and sometimes they take off. But they do a better job of like getting outside the pocket, and they can either take off or if there's someone in their way, they throw it away. So I definitely think throwing the ball away and conservative decision making is the way to go. And it doesn't matter too much if you put scrambling or balanced. Hey, just how it looks to me. Um, yards per carry. Brees Hall. I mean, I don't know what we're gonna really learn from looking at the running backs and what their abilities are. I will look at Brees Hall here, see if there's anything we can find. So he's got predictability off. In QuickSim, I noticed that you wanted high motor on and predictability off. And cover the ball, the closer it is to never than always was better. Because when it's always, they're always running, protecting the ball. They're not making moves. So, in my opinion, you want it only on big hits, never. I mean, you might fumble more, especially in the slow sim. But we'll have to pick a running back and see if he starts performing better if you turn, it's like let's look at the good running backs and see if they have it on. Um, let's look at Barkley. Not very good for Barkley standards. Does he have? What does he have for? He's only got medium hits. Hmm. What about Derrick Henry? Oh, why I go this way? He's got it on big hits. I don't know. I think that it's the running back thing. Just might be more of a playbook and scheme thing. Not so much a trait thing. Receiving, probably more of a playbook thing than anything. Yeah, I'm not gonna look too much into it. Although I do want to check out RJ Harvey. He's a 23-year-old, 75 overall star, and he just absolutely took the NFL by storm in Game One. So let's see what he's got going on here. Decision maker, aggressive, fights for extra yards, yes. Cover ball, medium. High motor, yes. Run after catch, possession catch. I mean, RJ Harvey looked pretty darn good. Tackle leader, Jeremy Chin. Drew Phillips, Taron Johnson, Grant Delpit, Lenore. Playbook quarterback thing. I don't think anything's really different there. Don't see anything too much there from sacks. Nothing really standing out yet. So we'll see as time goes, as cream rises to the top, who's getting the most sacks. See if there's anything with traits and abilities there. So, um, yeah, that's it. If you want to look at the leaders, we didn't really study the leaders. I'll go back through it again. Right now, Jaden Daniels threw for the most yards, followed by Will Howard, C.J. Stroud, Burrow, Caleb Williams, Cam Ward, most touchdowns. Joe Burrow, Bo Nix, awesome. I'm in on the Bo Nix train. So I want to see how good he does. Um, Will Howard, what was up with that? We'll find out. Most carries, Kenneth Walker, Pacheco. Kenneth Walker leading in yards, followed by Najee. Looks so good. I know the Chargers aren't rushing for over 20 times, but to me that's effective yards. But we'll see. We'll see what Barkley does in that playbook. Aaron Jones looked really good. Minnesota just not great passing numbers. Brees Hall really effective. R.J. Harvey great with all his touches. 100 yards receiving, rushing, touchdowns. Najee, Ramondre, Jaden Daniels, and then receiving wise, Nico got absolutely fed. Jameson Williams, his speed was way too much for the Eagles. Brian Thompson got fed, but for 67 yards, um, that quarterback needs an upgrade too. Needs to be edited a little bit. It's a lot of tight ends getting catches. Top rookie, Alec Amanor, however you say that name. Jameson Williams led in yards. Garrett Wilson had two big catches. RJ Harvey, running back, was number 3 in receptions. Um, Xavier Restrepo. Yo, did you see that guy? I don't know his story. I gotta look into this guy. But when I was like looking up his picture to put on the oh man, I'm losing my mind. The thumbnail, dude. What happened to that guy's mouth? What's the story about that? Did he that happen to him, or was he born like that? But that I gotta look into that story. McLaurin with a big catch, and then JMO and Kirk catching 2 touchdowns. Tackle wise, Jeremy Chin, Zaire Franklin, Overshawn. Yo, this Henley guy is really good. He gets a lot of interceptions in the slow sim. I mean, quick sim. Tackles for loss. Daniil Hunter, Jermaine Pratt, sacks, Daniil Hunter, and Nick Benito. So that's pretty much it, man. If you guys got anything you want me to do, any changes that you think I should make to playbooks, to the teams, anything you'd like to see, I will get the Thursday night game out on Thursday. I gotta start simulating them. As far as for halfbacks go, playbooks and scheme affect how they used. Yeah, um, that's kind of like the main focus point, especially if a team's got a really good rookie running back or a good running back like um, the Ravens and the Eagles do. You want to see them get fed. So we'll do my best to find the schemes or playbooks to get them fed and get the schemes right. And hopefully by week 3 or 4, we got these teams all locked in. So there you go. Thanks for watching. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. It's a lot harder for me to try to do this and speak and read. I don't know. I must respect the people who live stream all the time. So this was fun. Thank you. I appreciate you so much for coming out. I got tons more content to get to you, and hopefully we can like lock in on what are the best slow sim playbooks now. Um, I know it's way late in the year, but people are still slow simming. But I got much more plans for beginning of Madden 26 with getting quick sim out faster and jumping on slow sim right away. I got like notes and ideas for days, so I will try to do as much as I can. I got videos that I had planned for this year. Um, I just never got to. It's just time is you can only do so much. So thank you, Marcus. I appreciate you commenting and watching. So it's been awesome. Yeah, I'll see you for sure on Thursday with the Thursday night game. Thank you so much, and hope you guys have a good night. Ah. You too, man.